Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm gonna start a new segment. I'm gonna call it Top 10 Chronographs. And this is all in my opinion, and I think it's also the opinion of a lot of people. So anyway, we'll begin with wristwatch check. Omega Speedmaster at white. Straight lugs, pre-professional. Anyway, let's just get out of the way, right? I think a lot of people will agree that the Omega Speedmaster is probably the most iconic, and it's probably the best. Well, I don't use the words the best, but it's the most iconic chronograph that has been ever made. The history is there, right? Man, Neil Armstrong, NASA took it up to the moon. Hey, that's amazing. That's astounding. It's relatively affordable, very attainable. It is, right, the most iconic chronograph. Okay, so let's go from the top to the bottom, because I think second to the Omega Speedmaster, right? I'm sure everyone knows what's second, and it's the Rolex Daytona. Okay, so let's get the more obvious choices out of the way, right? Number one, Speedmaster. Number two, Daytona. And okay, so now it gets kind of interesting, right? Yeah, don't really need to talk much about Daytona. Everybody knows about the Daytona. Number three, right? In my opinion, is the Breitling Navitimer. Right, simply stunning watch. I love this watch. For those of you who have watched some of my previous videos, I used to own one, and I got robbed. Met a young Indian boy, I guess. Showed him the watch. He pepper sprayed me and ran off. So I think because of that, I just it's too painful for me to own a Navitimer ever again. But at the same time, I have to admit that it's a beautiful chronograph, very iconic, right? It was an aviation, it's a pilot watch. It is beautiful, right? Busy dial, but this, it looks good, right? It looks really nice. Done very, very well. Okay, now after that, number four. Let's go to the IWC Portugese. Right? I've never owned. This is a great picture. I've never owned an IWC, but if I were to own one, it would probably have to be the Portuguese, right? It's so iconic. It's a dress chronograph. Simply stunning. It's not, I don't believe it's an in-house movement, but who cares, It's a beautiful watch, right? So classy, so well executed in its design. Very versatile. You can wear it I don't know. I don't know if you were to go do sports, right? You probably wouldn't swim in it. I guess it's a dress chronograph, right? Very beautiful watch. All right. Now number five. Number 5, 6, and 7 in my list. It really has to be Heuer chronographs, right? And probably the most iconic of the Heuer chronographs has to be the Monaco, popularized by Steve McQueen in his movie Le Mans. I've never owned one, but it is extremely quirky. A square watch, right? A square chronograph. It's simply stunning. Look at that. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch. Also popularized by Walter White in Breaking Bad, although he wears the Tag Heuer chronograph. But either one, right? You get a vintage one or the modern one. They look fantastic, and even the is this it? Yes, this is it, right? So Tag Heuer has recently uh, launched, I guess it's their homage watches, and the Monaco has been kind of revamped. They no longer say Tag Heuer. Sorry guys, you can't see this, but it's simply stunning. The Heuer Monaco, extremely iconic, right? And this is a modern watch. I think if you're a big fan of the vintage Heuer Monaco, go for this one, made by Tag Heuer, and it is simply exquisite. Right? You have all the vintage aesthetics with the modern technology. I think the execution of the Heuer Monaco caliber 11 McQueen chronograph it's just exquisite. Right? Okay, so what's next? That was number 5, right? The Heuer Monaco. And at number 6, I have to go with the Heuer Carrera. Another icon, another classic. Again, right, it was designed for race car drivers. I don't know if you own a Porsche Carrera. Hey, I think the Heuer Carrera would go very well with your Porsche. Simply stunning, right? Tag Heuer has also launched their homage line, their vintage homage line, and can be seen right here, caliber 17. All right, Carrera caliber 17 limited edition, really beautiful watch. Right, a Carrera, a lot of history. It's another great watch, right? The Heuer Carrera, simply stunning. All right. And then number 7, also another Heuer watch. And this one is just a favorite of mine. This is a personal choice, and it's the Heuer Octavia, right? So the Heuer Octavia, the name Octavia it's a combination of automotive and aviation, hence Octavia. Beautiful watches, wow. And this is where, well, look at this vintage one. Look at this vintage watch. My God, that is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the patina on that. So it's a chronograph with a rotational bezel. This one's a 12-hour rotating bezel to help you keep track of a second time zone. They also have them in tachymeter bezels, like these ones with a cushion case, and I believe they also came in dive bezels, yeah, like this one. Right, really beautiful. The Heuer Octavia comes in at number 7 on my list. Simply stunning. Beautiful watches. I love chronographs. Chronographs, they're hard to, it's hard to just have one chronograph, All right, and coming in at number 9 for me is, sorry, not number 9, number 8 is the Zenit El Primero. Beautiful watch, right? Some say, I believe they claim that they were the first automatic chronograph maker. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's something. They're first at something when it comes to chronographs. The Zenit El Primero, beautiful chronographs. But the thing with the Zenith is that, especially the El Primero, is that there are so many different designs, and they all look so different from one another. I guess I really like I really like right, something like this one, where you can kind of see through. You can see like parts of the movement. It's very beautiful, beautiful watch, right? That comes in number 8 for me. Would I buy a Zenit El Primero? No, probably not. Just because there's so many other greater chronographs and I don't know. I don't really have a connection with Zenith. You know, although you have to respect their history, their in-house made movements. The El Primero is it's a very, very beautiful movement, well decorated, highly finished. All right, you own one, you know, be proud of it. It's an extremely recognizable watch. It's a connoisseur's watch, right? I wouldn't say it's recognizable. It's a connoisseur's watch. I would know a Zenith El Primero when I see one. All right, and number 9, what do we have? Number 9. At number 9, it's another vintage chronograph, and it is the Tudor Big Block. You know, I've owned a Tudor Big Block. I really love the watch. You know, I ended up selling it because it was a vintage chronograph, and I just, you know, screwed on pushers. I just could not. I don't know. I think the seals were just not very. The seals were probably a little bit worn or damaged, but it always fog up under the crystal. I owned this one actually. It was a very, very beautiful watch. Actually, the older version. This one is 79170. I owned the 94210. Pretty much the same thing, just slight differences in aesthetics. But really, really beautiful watch. Uses the ETA 7750 movement. It's a workhorse. Kind of got a bit of a wobble, but beautiful watch, right? Really, you know, they call it a big block because it's just really thick. The case is just this chunk of metal. It's such a masculine watch. Really, really beautiful watch. And these things, you know, if you're into vintage chronographs, you know, I think these are still moderately priced, and you get the build quality and the design of vintage Rolexes, and you know that the prices are still not through the roof, right? These can be had for under 5,000 US, and I think they are great buys. You know, if you're into vintage Rolex or vintage Tudor, or if you're into vintage Rolex, I think that the Big Block is a great complement to your vintage collection. Really love the vintage Big Block. I don't know, maybe I might pick one up again in the future. Because I owned it and it just looks so good on the wrist. It's just, you know, just simply stunning. I really love the Big Block. All right, so that was number 9. Now, what's number 10 on the list? Well, number 10, you know, some might say it should be a lot higher, but it's the Alange und Zune Datograph. It is a work of art. It is simply a work of art, right? But the only problem with it is the price. You know, it's extremely expensive, and it's not very attainable for you know, mere mortals such as myself. And well, I would have to really consolidate my collection to own a datograph. And I'm not willing to do that at this point in my watch collecting life, but I mean, just look at that movement, guys. It looks like a little a city or a forest of metal. You know, look at how everything's been decorated. The script, the text, the curves. Oh my God, the autograph is stunning. Of course, it's column wheel chronograph, and it is, you know, in terms of movement, I've never really. Well, I could just stare at this for a long time. Sorry, guys, I'm just spacing out right now, but number 10 on my list has to be the Alanga Unzuna datograph. Now, a lot of, you know, I'm sure all of you have noticed that I left out chronographs from Patek, AP, and Vacheron. But the reason for that is, you know, of course they make chronographs, right? But for the chronographs from those three prestigious brands, they fall under a line such as, you know, the overseas, right? You have an overseas chronograph, you have overseas jewel time, you have overseas, you know, just time only, and therefore I did not count those chronographs in because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't specific. Like the Speedmaster, right? When you think Speedmaster is only a chronograph, like a Navitimer is only a chronograph. Daytona, you know, it's a chronograph, right? Whereas the Vacheron overseas, the Royal Oak chronograph, you know, they are Royal Oak first and chronograph second, right? They're overseas first, chronograph second. Same for the Patek, right? Patek, you have, you know, Nautilus first and then chronograph second. So those are fantastic, obviously wonderful, iconic chronographs, but I left them out, you know, for those reasons. Anyway, that's my take on the top 10 chronographs, in my opinion, my humble opinion, and please let me know, you know, if I left something out, and if you feel that something should have an honorable mention, please comment below, and have a good day. Bye.